Disney to raise streaming prices, announce new ads option. I mean, we all know the company Disney is just struggling for money. I mean, they don't have money to buy up every media company. They're just constantly always having to raise prices, always having to double and triple dip on their fan bases, regurgitating just the same movies over and over again, really trashing a lot of franchise, a lot of IP, buying up every single thing. I don't like Disney. And that was way before the conservatives started crying over Disney with their made-up reasons for not liking Disney. I stopped liking Disney because of their price gouging. I've mentioned this many times on my show, used to be a big fan of the UFC. I used to do an episode where I'd recap UFC fights. But during a global pandemic, where people were struggling financially, Disney, aka ESPN, which has the broadcasting rights for the UFC, decided during a global pandemic to raise the price of the pay-per-views, not just once, not just twice, 3 times. During a global pandemic, Disney needed more of that money. In a time where people were already forced to have to pay for pay-per-views because they couldn't go to sports bars, they couldn't really get together with their friends and have parties. So more people were buying pay-per-views, so might as well triple down on that and raise the price of the pay-per-views. I have no idea what the pay-per-view prices are for UFC events. I stopped. I think I watched a couple pay-per-view events through nefarious means, potentially, after the first price jump. But once they announced the second price jump, I was done. And then from what I've heard, they've done it at least one other time. Recently when the Disney stopped, they paused their donations. They paused their political donations to conservatives, right? Which means that they will have probably already likely unpaused their donations. It seems like they're not in the news these days, so I would imagine they have started up their donations to conservative parties, but they temporarily, until people forgot, paused their donations. And also Hulu, which is part of Disney, stopped running ads for Democrats and stopped running ads that were any kind of related to Democrat agenda, which is very interesting. I mean, Disney, in my opinion, is one of the most conservative media companies in existence. I mean, you want to talk about a media company that stays away. I mean, there's a lot of the properties that they've purchased are just not available anymore because Disney owns them and it doesn't go along with their branding. So you just can't find a lot of movies because they are now owned by Disney, right? They are very, very late to the party when it comes to being progressive in any way. You know, having equal representation of things, maybe here and there in their peripheral properties like Star Wars, maybe there'll be a couple people that aren't white, but then you'll see the fan base of Disney show their true colors. You know, when Rian Johnson's Star Wars came out, a lot of people were very angry at the fact that there was an Asian and a black dude that were kind of a major part of that movie. So then the next movie, they dialed those stories way back. In the newest Buzz Lightyear movie, people up in arms over the fact that maybe there's a character that's mildly gay. You know, that there's a mild reference to somebody being anything other than straight. You know, it's a company that has been extremely conservative for their entire run. That is their brand, is to be conservative. And it's not surprising that a conservative company would also be massively greedy, as Disney is. So, you know, if anybody needed another reason not to support Disney, here you go. But people love Disney. People love Disney Plus. People worship Marvel. People worship Star Wars. People worship Disney. Disneyland is their religious mecca. Like they would die if Disney changed in any major way. And a lot of the people that are hugely invested in those properties are also extremely conservative and extremely like hateful towards anybody that's not a straight white cis person. So whatever. Not surprising. I don't even have a login for Disney Plus. I do watch stuff on Hulu, but I don't pay for the service. I try not to review things that are Disney properties. I haven't watched any aside from I haven't watched any of the newer Marvel movies. I don't really care about Star Wars anymore. Like, they've ruined a lot of franchises in my opinion. So I don't know. A lot of people love them. I don't. Not a fan.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.